There are few men that have been able to transcend the industry that they're part of. Well, Hulk Hogan is one of those men. When you say professional wrestling, you automatically think of. His new book is entitled Hulk Hogan, My Life Outside the Ring, and it's available everywhere now through St. Martin's Press. And it's a pleasure to welcome here to the Fight Network, Hulk Hogan. Hulk, thanks a lot for chatting with us.
Thank you, brother.
Now, Hulk, tell us a bit about the book. It's available now, and compare it to your 2002 release.
I had the book deal before I went to the WWE, and all of a sudden, when Vince McMahon found out about it, he says, hey, you know, let us do it through us, and we'll promote it, and, you know, the book will roll out big time. I said, well, it makes sense, you know. Financially, it's not the same deal for me now, but, you know, I get plugged into the big machine, and they'll promote the heck out of it. Well, you know, we made the deal, and the book came out, and as I wrote it, you know, the WWE put their WWE spin on it, kind of went through it and washed it out, you know. And so the book came out, and I thought it was going to do really, really well. And I got my check for WrestleMania at the Sky Dome.
Yep.
And I said, oh my gosh, this must be the driver's check. And I talked to Vince about the money, and I left, and they quit promoting the book. So that book kind of was a WWE book that came and went. This book is a book that I wrote because I've had a rough couple years. I've had two really crazy years. You know, I lost my family in a very short amount of time, and financially I was devastated. My son got in a car wreck, and you know, the family that sued me, they sued me for $60 million, and everything changed in a short amount of time, and I had a chance to take the high road or the low road. You know, and I soul searched for this thing, and, you know, my belief, I'm a Christian, you know, and I was saved when I was 14 years old, and in the Christian belief, you accept Christ as your Savior. You know, you'll never perish, but you have everlasting life. I was saved when I was 14, but man, I went every direction but that, you know. And so sometimes when, you know, the darkest cloud comes over you, then the brightest light shines. And at that time, I started soul searching, and I said, well, should I take the high road or the low road? You know, should I, you know, move forward, or should I turn everything into a crime scene? Should I just become another statistic like all the other wrestlers that have passed away or done stupid stuff?
Yeah.
And I had 2 rough days at my house. I came home, and my wife had divorced me. And the first thing that happens when you walk in my house, you get greeted by 8 dogs. Here come the dogs. The dogs weren't there, and my children were gone. And I went to every closet, and all the closets were empty. But as I walked through the house, there were all the pictures of my family on the wall. And for some reason, brother, my head just, I went the wrong way. And I had 2 of the roughest days of my life sitting in the bathroom with a gun and a bottle of rum. And I snapped out of it. And I decided to take the high road. And that's why I wrote the book. And I wrote the book because I wanted to let people know that as tough as the times are now, no matter how bad things get, you know, that if you decide to follow your heart and believe in yourself, you can make it through anything and things can get better. And, you know, I talked about things that were happening in my life for 23 years, the yelling, the screaming, the cussing, the drinking. I got used to it. I thought it was normal. And that's the first thing I did. I went to apologize to my children. I said, oh my God, Nick and Brooke, I am so, please forgive me. I had no idea that that's not how life's supposed to be. That's not normal. So I wrote the book not only to tell people to hang in there, even though times are tough, it's going to get better. But I also wrote the book to let people know that what they saw as Hulk Hogan and the training prayers and the vitamins and this larger-than-life superstar, behind closed doors, I was in a very, very dark relationship with a person that was never happy.
And you've lived a very interesting life. For the past 30 years, cameras have always been on you 24/7, whether it be a pro wrestling match, a promo, a reality show, or even here talking with us here at the Fight Network. Tell us about the process of writing your own book and always being Hulk Hogan, because when those cameras are on, there's always that element of performance. Is it difficult being Terry Bollea when everyone expects Hulk Hogan?
Oh, you always know you're on. Yeah. I mean, you know, like yesterday coming back from Australia, I was with my manager, Jimmy Hart, and I had a 103-degree fever. You know, knew I had to meet with you guys today. My choice is to do the interview. My choice is to move on. I want to make all my Canadian fans realize that, you know, I'm behind this book and what I wrote is the truth. And you know, the moment I walk out of the house, Both my kids are back with me now at the house. And, the moment I walk out of the house, I can't be Terry. When I walk out of the house and someone like you sees me, if they say hello to me, I can't go, hey, man, how you doing? They don't say, hello, Terry. When I come around the house, they go, hey, Hulk, and I have to go, hey, brother, what's up, dude? How you doing? So, I don't want to disappoint people, but the character is so positive. I don't want to let people down either. And it's, I can get in and out of it, but I'm always aware. I'm aware there's cameras on. I'm aware of what we're doing. But, I can separate the two. Some guys in this wrestling business, that's why we've had hundreds of guys die. Because they can't separate the difference between the big money, the fame, the excitement, the running nonstop, and then go back to a normal life. They don't know what to do themselves. They do whatever they can to get that rush you get in the ring. So I can separate the two, and yes, I can be Terry Bollea all day long, and that's one of the reasons I wrote the book, is to let people know that you need not to get caught up in the hype, not to get caught up in the drama, not to get caught up in the craziness, even on a personal level. Even if you're John Doe and you live a John Doe life and you're successful and you're a family, you're struggling with a family, whatever it is, be true to yourself, follow your gut, follow your heart. Don't get caught up in the craziness, the hype. You can get caught up in that craziness of Hulkamania, and when it all went away, if I would have followed my brothers, I'd be history.
In the book, you state you didn't have to be a great wrestler, you just had to draw the crowd into the match. In today's environment, we see a lot of guys go in week after week and try to outdo each other with spectacular maneuvers, but at the same time, we're in a time period where it seems more difficult than ever in order to create new stars, such as yourself. When you walk into a room, instantly people turn their head. Why aren't we seeing that with today's talent?
Well, it's really, just to go down to the rawest form, simple is better, less is more. And I can't even, well, maybe I can think of an example. If there was a dog chewing up someone's shoes and some woman came in and, oh my gosh, started cussing and raving and yelling and going crazy at the dog, all those words wouldn't mean anything to the dog. But if I was just walking and go, no, the dog might go, oh my God, I better not do that, And that's kind of like the wrestling business. These guys are going out, they're dropping the leg drop, they're drop kicking off the high rope, they're bouncing around. They do more moves in one match than I did in 30 years. And none of it means nothing. The crowd just sits there and watches. And every once in a while you get a cheer if someone almost breaks their neck or something. But, when I go to the ring, if the people aren't screaming and standing, well, then it's not right. From the moment I walk out there, I'm in character. I step into that no attitude, And the wrestlers now are like interchangeable parts. They have writers, and they depend completely on the writers. And these people that are writing for these big wrestling companies have never been to the big dance. They've never been in that ring. They've never been in front of 94,000 people. They've never had someone get hurt in the ring when there's 20,000 or 70,000 people in the Sky Dome. They've never been in the ring where all the writers wanted Hulk Hogan to be the evil guy and The Rock to be the great guy, the nice guy, the ultimate hero. And they've never been out there when it didn't go that way. And the writers would try to tell you exactly what to do. And then when you went out there and they were supposed to cheer The Rock and he's the hero, and they booed him out of the building, you better know what to do out there to make it right. There's none of that anymore. These wrestlers like interchangeable parts on a car. They're listening to what these writers say, like I said. And the writers have never done what I've done. They have learned from what the promoters tell them or other wrestlers tell them that have never really been to the big dance, don't have that feel. There's something inside there's something smells, like cat food. It's cat food, man. And it's all of a sudden, if it just doesn't smell right to me, I can't go down that road. So that's what's messed up.
Professional wrestling, the health of the industry, has always been contingent on creating new talent. Once a star is at the end of their career, typically promoters want to take that star power and transfer it on to the next generation of talent. And yet, it's all to ensure the long-term health of the industry. However, for you, that promotion isn't worried about the long-term health of the performer, because there's no pension, there's no retirement plan, and largely, legends are forgotten once they're no longer part of the machine.